Chapter 5. Proving himself to his wife. Everyone burst into mad laughter at Ethan's question. Jackson immediately replied, "Do you really think your family is qualified to receive an invitation? Have you ever contributed to the Reed family before?" Hunter sneered, "Yeah, keep dreaming. How shameless of you, thinking you could expect such a thing." Sophia and her parents had completely lost hope, staring at Ethan with disgust. However, Ethan sighed coldly. "You got this invitation because of me. I intended to give it to my wife's family. It simply ended up in your hands." Tyler snapped, "Show some respect, Ethan. Obviously, Adam got these invitations through his connections. What does any of this have to do with you?" "Yes, who do you think you are?" Adam roared, his anger igniting. "How dare you try to take the credit for yourself?" Then Hunter pointed at Michael, saying, "Look at your son-in-law, Michael. Do something about him, and don't bring him to our family gatherings again. We can't stand this insolence." Ethan was about to speak when Sophia dragged him outside. "Come with me." She couldn't stand it anymore. Hot tears streamed down her cheeks. "Ethan, please stop embarrassing me like this. I really can't take it if you keep acting this way." Ethan wiped her tears and asked gently, "Do you want to attend the dinner, Sophia?" "Who wouldn't? Didn't you see the look in my parents' eyes? But there's nothing we can do. Even if we want to go, you can't possibly get us in, can you?" Ethan said firmly, "I can." That was more than Sophia could bear. She grew furious, turned around, and tried to leave. "Ethan," he called after her, "why don't you trust me?" "How can I trust you when you act like this?" she shot back. Ethan chuckled and said, "I will definitely earn your trust. I, Ethan Cole, am a man who keeps his word." Sophia finally nodded. "Fine, I'll trust you this one time. If you fail, then we're over." "Agreed." "All right, I'll give you my best shot. I don't need this stupid boasting. I'll stay at this family dinner and tell everyone my husband will secure another invitation for tomorrow's banquet as well." "Very well, ladies first. Go ahead and let me just make one call." "We'll see what happens," she muttered. Ethan dialed. "Logan Hayes, tell Jordan I'll be attending his dinner tomorrow." "What? You're agreeing to attend? Thank God, I was so worried you wouldn't grant Jordan this honor." "Yes, I'll be there, but I want to bar some people from the event." "Yes, sir. I'll make the arrangements immediately." Back inside, Ethan saw Sophia lifting her chin proudly, standing tall like a peacock. It was clear she had already announced the news, as everyone's eyes were fixed on him coldly.
"Tell me, how do you think this bastard got the invitation? Did he steal it?" "Who knows if he bought it just to show off?" Adam laughed. "Didn't you know? A single invitation costs over $1 million. And Michael's family owes grandfather nearly $3 million. How could they possibly afford one?" At that moment, the dinner was served and the family feast began. Hunter smirked. "I think the four of them can share one bowl of noodles. No need to serve them properly. What do you say?" Adam chuckled. "Let's feed them anyway. Otherwise it'll look like grandfather mistreats them." "Fine, then." Other tables were buzzing with noise and excitement. Everyone drank wine and tried to win Adam's favor. But silence weighed heavily over Ethan's table. Michael glanced at Adam, then back at Ethan, sighing. What use is envy? It's all fate. Kayla stared at Ethan, thinking, could today get any more humiliating? Yet they dared not leave without the old man's permission, forced to endure the shame in awkward silence. At that moment, Adam approached with a wine glass in hand, flanked by people eager to show him respect. He passed Ethan and stood before Sophia. "I wanted to introduce you to my brother, Sophia. He's far better than me. But it seems you're not lucky enough to enjoy a good life. Too bad your taste in men is so poor." Michael and Kayla sighed deeply. If Ethan hadn't appeared, Sophia would have been with Benjamin, and our family would have been rich again. How wonderful that would have been. But no, we're doomed to poverty. The family dinner soon ended. Eric said, "Let's go to my house. I want to have a serious talk with my son-in-law about the Reed family's future development and tomorrow's dinner. All of you should sit and listen. It'll be good for you." Michael and Kayla looked at Eric with anticipation, hoping the Reed family might give them a hand and ease their current troubles. But Eric suddenly said, "Michael, you can leave." Michael hesitated. "Father, but I—" "No buts," Eric snapped. "We don't need you here. Besides, your fine son-in-law just got out of prison. I don't want him bringing bad luck into my home." Then he walked away with the others. Before leaving, Adam, Sandra, and a few others waved their invitation cards at Ethan. "Don't let me down tomorrow night, and don't say you know me if you can't get in. I won't tolerate my reputation being ruined." Ethan smiled faintly. "You'll never know who won't be able to get in until the time comes." "Fine, then. We'll see soon enough." Everyone left cheerfully, holding their invitations, while Michael and his family sighed and groaned. Michael cast a deep look at Ethan. If only he could bring honor to the family. What a pity he's just out of prison. Surviving is already a problem for him. Afterwards, Ethan followed Sophia home. Compared to the Cole family, this was his real home, the place where a woman had waited for him for 6 long years. Once home, Ethan laid out bedding on the floor, but Sophia let him sleep on the bed. Later, as he lay on the bed, he noticed Sophia working at her desk. "What are you doing?" he asked. Sophia smiled faintly. "Preparing a proposal for an eco-park development project in West City. Even if the chance of success is less than 1%, I'll do everything I can to win this bed."
Until the following evening, Sophia never once doubted him, nor did she show sadness. But as the welcome dinner drew near, she could no longer endure it. "Ethan Cole, I put all my faith in you, but where's the invitation? How am I supposed to believe you now? I thought you had some plan for getting us into that dinner, but you haven't even left this house or made a single phone call since last night. Do you think the invitation will just fall from the sky?" Michael and Kayla chimed in. "What are you waiting for? You made a huge promise last night. If you don't keep it, we'll have no place in the Reed family's future." Ethan glanced at the clock. "It's almost time. Just follow me." They drove in Michael's Haval and arrived at Paradise Villa, where the welcome dinner for the god of war was being held. Ethan said firmly, "Sophia, now I'll prove to you that I can do this." He grabbed her hand and headed straight for the entrance.
Chapter 6: The Guest of Honor. Eric arrived with his family and sneered as he pointed at Michael. "Well, look who it is. It's Michael and his criminal son-in-law." They were carrying gift bags filled with fine wine, wild ginseng, tea, and other valuable presents. The plan of the Reed family was simple: flatter the god of war as much as possible, hoping to gain his favor. Sandra walked up to Sophia mockingly and said, "I didn't expect you to come, Sophia. Where's your invitation card? Show it to me. After all, it's easy to buy fake invitations these days." Neither Sandra, Adam, nor the others believed for a second that Ethan could have received a real invitation. Sandra added sarcastically, "Just look at them. It's impossible for them to get an invitation to this dinner. That's like saying pigs can fly." Sophia hesitated, for she truly didn't have an invitation card. Sandra laughed. "Oh, please, what are you hiding? Don't tell me your invitation card is made of gold, so precious that I can't even glance at it." Sophia closed her mouth and lowered her head in shame. Noticing the couple's odd behavior, Eric demanded of Michael, "Show us your invitation card." Michael replied nervously,
Father, Eric barked angrily. What? You won't obey your father? Hurry up and show it to me. Michael panted heavily, unable to lie any more. Father, we don't have an invitation. Eric brought us here. The moment Adam, Sandra, and the rest heard that, they burst into wild laughter, their stomachs aching. Eric glared at Michael furiously. You fool! What a disgrace it is to have a son like you! Michael's face burned with humiliation as he met the mocking stares and cruel laughter. He lost the last shred of dignity he had before the Reed family. Even Sophia resented Ethan. Because of him, they had been utterly disgraced.
Adam sneered. How shameless of you to show up at the dinner without an invitation. Let me tell you the truth. No matter how hard you try, your family will never step through this gate. Sandra clung to Eric's arm and said, Let's go in, Grandpa. Don't let them block the way. You're right, Eric replied coldly. Just knowing them is a disgrace to us. The Reed family cast dagger-like looks at Ethan before striding quickly toward the gate. Michael was about to speak, but Ethan said calmly, Father, look, they won't be able to get in. At the entrance of Paradise Villa, a large number of security guards stood maintaining order. Adam proudly handed over 12 invitation cards and said, 12 guests, please. He straightened his back arrogantly, thinking to himself, how many people can possibly get their hands on 12 invitations at once? But immediately, the security guard replied coldly, You're forbidden to enter. You are banned from attending the dinner. Everyone froze in shock. What? They thought they had misheard him. This is impossible, Eric protested. Rami, the secretary, sent us these invitations himself yesterday. Adam added boastfully, This is my invitation. Let me in now. You can't afford the consequences of messing with me. Suddenly, the atmosphere grew tense. The guard raised his baton toward Adam's head and shouted, Don't you understand human language? You're banned from entering. Do I need to explain it more clearly? Adam trembled so badly he almost wet himself, but conscious of the eyes watching him, he forced himself to regain some courage and snapped back, I dare you to touch me. Don't you know who I am? Let me speak to your superior. The baton came down. The guard struck him hard, knocking Adam flat on the ground. In shock and terror, Adam lost control of his bladder. The Reed family panicked, horrified. The guard roared, What are you waiting for? Get lost! The Reed family scrambled to help Adam up and fled in a rush. Michael was stunned by the sight.
You were right. They couldn't get in. At that moment, Ethan smiled and took Sophia's hand. Now, we should go inside. Michael and Kayla recoiled fearfully. No, that would be suicide. If Adam and the others couldn't even pass the checkpoint, how could we possibly get in? Sophia's frail body trembled. Yes, how could we enter? We don't even have an invitation. Ethan smiled. Didn't you say you'd give me one last chance? How will you know if you don't try? Sophia squeezed his hand tightly. Fine, I'll trust you. Officers, Sandra shouted as the four approached the checkpoint. They may be related to the Reed family, but my grandfather disowned them long ago. They have nothing to do with us. Eric quickly echoed, his voice nervous. Yes, officers, they're not part of the Reed family. Please don't let them bother you. Ethan turned back and sneered. How cruel you all are. When they finally reached the checkpoint, Sophia shut her eyes tightly.
She would rather die today than face another humiliation. Michael and Kayla felt the same dread. The Reed family didn't leave. They lingered at a distance, eager to watch Michael and his family make fools of themselves. "Welcome, Mr. Cole and family. You are our most honored guests. No invitations required." At those words, Sophia opened her eyes and saw dozens of security guards lined up in 2 rows, saluting them. It felt like stepping into a dream. Sophia and her parents walked into Paradise Villa. The Reed family, who had been waiting outside for a show, stood in utter disbelief. They went in? How is that possible? Sophia and her parents felt as if they were floating on cloud 9 when they saw the Reed family's stunned expressions. Michael, still in shock, asked, "We entered so easily. Ethan, how did you do it?" For the first time, they felt their son-in-law was somewhat useful. At least he had saved them from disgrace. Kayla smiled. "Ethan must have had connections in Northampton from before, right?" "You're right, Mother. I have some friends. But—" Sophia looked at him suspiciously. Something didn't add up. When Ethan had been in trouble, none of his so-called friends had lifted a finger to help him. Many had betrayed him instead. Why would anyone help him now? Inside the villa, Sophia and her parents moved cautiously, afraid to make a wrong move or offend anyone at such a grand occasion. "Sophia, is that you? What are you doing here? Is it really you?" A sudden voice came from behind. Sophia's eyes filled with disgust as she turned to see the newcomers. 4 men in sharp suits approached with an air of nobility. The one leading them was Liam Brown, son of the president of Apex Group. He had pursued Sophia for years, even offering millions just to have her, but she never gave him the time of day. Out of spite, Liam had caused Sophia's company to go bankrupt. Sophia said coldly, "Why wouldn't I be here?" Liam glanced at Ethan with disdain. "Is this your criminal husband? He's the one who brought you here?" He stepped closer to Sophia and smirked. "I don't care how you got in. With my power, I could easily send your husband back to prison, lock him up for 10 or 20 years. Sophia's face stiffened. She knew Liam had the means to do exactly that. "What do you want?" she asked cautiously. "As long as you agree to stay with me, I promise not to trouble him. Otherwise, I'll make sure he rots in prison again."